is good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Tequila. Today is Tuesday, August. Is it 3rd today?
3rd.
Oh my goodness. Where's the year gone, everybody? Where's the
Right?
year gone? Why is there so many cups up here? I feel like there's just it's cups and cups and cups on top of cups and cups.
So I'm Alastair. This is Zachary, my
Yes.
co-host. And it's cups and cups and cups. Because I had such a productive day, guys. And we're filming this Monday. Y'all will see it Tuesday. I had such a productive day.
You did.
Until I came back home. And I was just like, my leg hurt. So for most people who don't know, I got hit by a car in
I'm going to put
2015.
sad music in here.
I got hit by a car in 2015. So a lot of my left leg is just made of like I think it's titanium. And
He's got a bionic leg, guys. A whole ass bionic leg.
Well, recently it's been hurting a lot. And today it hurt a lot. I was going to come back from an appointment. I was going to go to the gym, have the rest of the day be productive, but it hurt so bad today. I had to take some ibuprofen.
We were walking in Target, and I could tell it really hurt. I kept telling you, let's go. And you kept walking around Target.
Well, not only that, my contact decided to give out. And
did you figure out what happened with that? Was it ripped?
It wasn't ripped, but I feel like I have a scratch on my eyeball.
Yeah, so he's got glasses on. I'm completely blind. We're both without contacts. We both have puffy eyes. I don't have a messed up leg, thank goodness. But you have a messed up leg.
Yeah.
So we're just going.
On Monday we said, let's have a really great morning, and then we beat ourselves up.
I feel like we had a pretty good day, though.
We did have a good day. Yeah. We had our we had our frame for our new bed come in today.
We did.
We're excited to put that in. Yeah, we didn't get to do that today. I think at this point for us it's too late. To put that in.
Doing. I have to, because we got a king bed, if you've watched the last video, and so I have to unbox that and put that together, because I have a contract with Helix Sleep that I'm doing a video, one video a month for until, I think November, and so I have to do an unboxing for that bed, so we didn't do that today. We didn't really have time to do that today, because I'm going to have to set it. We have to clean our room because we're going to be filming out.
It's got to be nicer because we moved the bed from our room to the guest room, so we've been mostly using the guest room.
Yeah.
And since we moved the bed, we moved everything and pushed everything aside. We hadn't gone back to our master bedroom.
Well, there's
really
no place
cleaned
to.
it up.
We haven't really gone to. What do you think about that bed in there? I like
it a lot.
I mean, but sleeping on it, do you feel a difference? To me, it still feels way too tall. I'm glad we got a shorter bed because I feel like that's just too tall.
It's very tall. The feng shui is weird, but I think it'll be nicer for our guests.
Yes.
So I'm excited for people to come and stay at our place and be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so fancy." I'm gonna put one of our Buffy posters in there so that they feel like they're slaying.
Is that where you're gonna put it?
Well, we have 2 of them, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna put one in there.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we're gonna set up our bed stuff. So right now I'm in the process of out processing.
We've also, a little fun fact for the weekend. We found out where we're going, and we're not gonna say it here. I'm gonna leave that for a video. But we did find out where we're posting next, right?
Yes, we did. Which, excuse me, still won't be for another 7 months.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. But so I'm looking up a bunch of YouTube videos and learning more about the place and all of that. It's always a little bit scary, when you get posted to a new place. But we're trying to remain positive.
It was a little scary coming here too.
Yeah, I wasn't so scary for me. Maybe for you, because my family was only 40 minutes away. So.
Which is crazy. I felt like in a lot of ways, the cosmos was looking out for us in terms of making, our families be very close to where we were at.
Yeah.
Especially at this onset, because we could have been anywhere in the world, really.
Pretty much. I don't even know what I set this to. I guess we're set. Okay. But we're gonna make the most of wherever we're going next. And y'all will figure that out here soon. If it's too long, I'm in the process of editing videos so that when we leave here soon, to go on vacation, then I'll have videos for the rest of the month. But I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put that in. Hopefully the next video. If not, then we'll go ahead and share that on Coffee and Tequila.
And I think that this is a good time to warn people that the latter half of August we are going to be gone because we're going to be visiting my family.
Do you think we can do Coffee and Tequila remotely from there, or do you think it's best to just say we're going to be on a break, another break?
I think it's best to say that we're on another break, but
okay.
I'm not going to lie. The internet quality where we're going is fine. So if we wanted to do lives, maybe not like daily Coffee and Tequila, but if we wanted to do like a week kind of like wrap up and talk about stuff, I think that would be fine.
Yeah. So we'll see.
You know?
We'll see what's going to happen, but we'll definitely keep you
play
all
it by
updated.
ear.
Yeah, today we got a couple things we're going to talk about. Let's get into it. Reese Witherspoon, she has a company that she, I think, jointly owned, or she owns 100% of it. I'm not sure. No,
okay,
she's got shareholders, doesn't she? So she's like,
okay. She definitely jointly owned.
She runs it for sure. She's one of the big heads of it and runs it. Hello Sunshine. It's a media company that's been like putting out content like Little Fires Everywhere, The Morning Show,
Big Little Lies. Yeah,
all of these like shows that I feel like they've all been like big awards winners, right? Big in like award season. Like they're
for the most part, I think Reese Witherspoon
critically they're doing great.
Has really, in a very creative and also business way, evolved her career.
Oh yeah, she's done a very good job in
very good job.
Because I always find it really interesting when a celebrity who's gotten famous doing something or gotten successful doing one thing, where their next move is kind of going. You know, when you're young and you're a pop star or something like that. Not so much Britney, who has shown that she stood the test of time, or like Madonna, but like more like a Lady Gaga or a Katy Perry, where their height was concentrated in a specific period of time, and then like they have to move on and do other stuff. So like Lady Gaga is moving on and she's like doing all the acting, and she's having great success with that. But like Katy Perry, like, you know, it doesn't seem like Katy Perry had figured out her next sort of like.
Right now, I feel like Katy Perry's focusing on family. Her and Orlando Bloom had a kid, and they're just like. Yeah. Like doing that.
Honestly, she's got enough money probably. She don't have to do anything. But like also like Reese Witherspoon was this young up and coming actress. She was like this young, you know, she was the Reese Witherspoon. Anything you could see Reese Witherspoon in, she was in. Like Legally Blonde, she was in, or she did Wild. She did
Cruel Intentions,
Walk the Line, Cruel Intentions. But then like her playing younger roles kind of would have, you know, petered off a little bit somewhere. And it's not that with acting, I mean, it's much harder for women, right? And so women cannot.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna forget my point if I don't finish. Okay, so sorry for this long-winded one. Sorry. So Reese, like the roles for women, for older women, just aren't there, and so she, instead of like waiting back and hoping that a role is gonna come in and she's gonna be able to catch it, she's like, well, I'll create these roles, you know? All these roles that I see are missing from the entertainment industry, and I've spent my whole life in the entertainment industry, and I can see what roles are missing. I'm going to create those roles for women. Something happened. And so that's what she's doing with her Hello Sunshine Company. And do you want to kind of explain what's happening with the Hello Sunshine Company?
No, well, first off, I want to caveat off what you just said. I hate to use in the meeting speak, but like it's incredible that she was able to like I think that this is definitely like a like kudos to her to be able to like see that there is such a huge space missing in the industry, especially for women, you know, past a certain age point, whereas men, you know, you can play like an action star in your 20s. So you can play an action star in your 50s.
A 50-year-old would still be cast as like the husband to like a 30-year-old, right?
Yes, exactly.
And that's so easy, but you don't see that so much from women's roles.
Women's roles is like if you're an action star, if you're a woman action star, you're only a woman action star in your 20s. Mm-hmm. You know, if you do anything, you're only doing anything in your 20s and 30s. And then after that, you have to play all all, and there's nothing wrong with mom roles. There's nothing wrong with it. But roles are just relegated to mom roles, you know?
Yeah, and it's not just like the mother. You want some substance to that role, right? Do y'all remember when Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did the Golden Globes? They hosted the Golden Globes for like 3 years in a row, right? Or they did like an opening monologue for them. And there was one year, I forget which year it was, but they made a joke about like, you know, shit. I wish I remembered it. Roles.
Roles for women?
Roles for Meryl Streep's over 60 or something like that. And basically the gist of, I wish I could have told it because it would have been funny, but basically the gist of it is like Meryl Streep was really the only woman like playing roles like this.
Well, because like people still wanted to hire her. Like they wanted like
but you look at actresses maybe around her caliber and they're not getting the same sorts of roles or offers that she is because those roles are just not being written. They're not being put out there. And Reese Witherspoon with her company has done a fantastic job in rallying roles for women, created by women. Like women are running the whole joint, you know.
And it always creates like a super interesting dynamic and also a super interesting like they fill a vacuum in terms of like what people are wanting in terms of entertainment. And like even for example, Jane Fonda, for example, did this with Grace and Frankie. For like that was big. She went up and she made that show because there was nobody talking about what she was talking about.
What involvement did she have in that show? Do you know? I'm assuming she had some sort of producer or something with it.
Yes.
Did she have any creator?
She had the idea. She had the kernel of it, and she definitely she also she helped to create it and she talked about how like nobody was talking about like the issues that were happening for more elderly people like her, you know, in ways that could be relatable. And I think that was like a really cool thing to bring to the screen, and that was super funny, and people really liked. And I'm loving that this is the thing, because like before, especially with women, you were like, oh my gosh, you know, they got to retire now. You know, like they've reached their expiration date for the Hollywood industry.
Yeah, like what can this woman play here, right?
Yes.
Nobody was questioning that for men, and so it's very exciting. I feel like Reese Witherspoon has the perfect like white mom on the beach with a book kind of mentality.
Well, that she's literally
able to pick out the perfect projects that will like be so palatable for people. Like Big Little Lies, Little Fires Everywhere. Those shows were so
Daisy
palatable.
Jones here soon.
Yeah, they're like palatable. You know, they're not so niche that like only a certain amount of people are gonna get onto it. You like hear everybody talking about these shows, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why she has her book club. She has a book club because she wants to express these stories, and then she has her, you know, her company because she wants to make them.
And so her company, what did we just say it was called? Hello Sunshine. Hello Sunshine just got acquisitioned by it's Blackstone Company.
Blackstone Company.
Yes.
And I kept on thinking about the other company that's a mercenary company, and I was like, oh my gosh, a mercenary company.
But it made me a little bit
Blackwater.
The Blackstone Group Inc. They're set to acquire or purchase Reese Witherspoon's media company Hello Sunshine for $900 million as part of a larger plan to build an independent entertainment firm that's going to cater more towards
creators,
streaming platforms. So basically right now what's happening is you have all these streaming platforms fighting over content, right? And there's not really like a separate media company that's creating media and licensing it out to these streaming platforms, which Hello Sunshine was really the only place that was doing that. She was selling these shows to like HBO. She was sold Little Fires Everywhere, the licensing to like Hulu, you know? And so that's what this whole company as a larger company is going to be doing, while all the other I think the other streaming services are going to suffer a little bit for this.
I swear, Zachary, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Today I was thinking, because I was thinking about Sony, and Sony doesn't have its own platform. And I was thinking, you know, right now the whole platform, the whole like streaming platform is too full. Sony can't do that. So what if they created their own stuff and they licensed it out to other people?
Yeah.
And then you know what? Reese Witherspoon was already ahead of me.
She's already got on it. She said, I'm not going to create, Witherspoon streaming, Witherspoon Plus.
people would buy it though. But the interesting thing about this, excuse me, is that so like they said that they're purchasing it, and other people valued Hello Sunshine at $900 million.
What is that one? What is that?
I got it from CNBC.
Okay. Because there was the one you had to like pay to read, keep reading all
yes,
I'm not going to deal with that.
Yeah, I was like, other people are covering this too.
Other articles are going to highlight it for me.
The Wall Street Journal, that's where I got it from. And then it stopped the article, so I was like, somebody else is covering this anyways. So right now I'm reading from CNBC. And so they valued it at $900 million. However, Reese Witherspoon isn't just the total owner of it. And around $500 million of it is already owned by other shareholders, including AT&T. So they're buying it from other shareholders. They're buying the $500 million from other shareholders. And Reese Witherspoon and her team is rolling over their money into the Blackstone Corporation, and taking board seats to have actual control of what gets actually greenlit.
Yes, and so Reese Witherspoon and Sarah Harden, who's like goodness, we're awful. Sarah Harden is I want to get her title right. I think she deserves it. Hello Sunshine Chief Executive Sarah Harden. They're both going to have like board member seats on this new company.
Which I think is great.
Go, fantastic. Yeah. Good job for them. And they're also...
Level up.
Yes, level up. And they're also looking to... they're also considering deals with, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's media company, Westbrook Inc., and like getting other little smaller companies and rolling them into like one.
It's like they're making a creator company.
Yes, they're making a creator company, and it made me a little nervous when I first read it and first saw Reese Witherspoon post about it, and I was like, oh no, I didn't want her to sell her thing.
Yeah, because you always think they're taking control away from the creator.
Yeah, and she really she created this. She made something so good that was doing such a good job in what it was doing already that I was nervous for a second. But after reading it more and hearing it more, I feel a little bit more comfortable with it, and I'm just like super stoked for her, man. I'm like so excited for her.
And it's still hers, and but now she gets to make it a part of something bigger.
I don't know about that. I think she could probably get pushed out.
Her and Sarah are still running it.
Yeah.
And then this is the statement that they put out. For not Blackwater, but Blackstone. I keep on thinking it's a mercenary company, which would be like a crazy pivot for them. But, our platform will foster a uniquely creator-friendly culture that gives elite talent the resources they need to create and capitalize on their best, most inventive work. We look forward to backing Reese, Sarah, and their world-class team as they continue to produce and identify dynamic, engaging content for years to come.
Yes.
And I love that.
I love it. I love it for her. I'm so excited to see how this kind of turns out. I hope it turns out all well. I hope like the business side, the money doesn't all get like too tangled up and like people get angry and stuff. That's just what happens with business, right? Is like something always goes sour. And so I hope none of that happens. I hope this turns out such great, not just projects for women, right? But like projects for all of these like sort of groups that are kind of put down there.
Stories that don't often get told.
Exactly.
But need to get told.
Yeah, that's what I kind of crave from entertainment nowadays anyway. Is like, I want to see stories that, what is that one show that just had the second season on Netflix? Never Have I Ever? Is that the one? She's Indian, right?
Yeah, it's from Mindy Kaling.
Yeah, so that one, the first season was so good on that one. It's like a show I'd never seen before, And maybe there are shows out there. Maybe there's smaller, medias out there.
Well, even stuff like Atypical.
Yeah.
Now we're getting back to a lot of Netflix.
Netflix has done a good job. Like, let's not beat Netflix down here. What Reese Witherspoon is doing with this thing, though, what this whole group is doing, they're not like here to like beat out Netflix or like HBO Max or anything. They're here to create their own content and say, hey guys, who wants it?
Yeah, so if they go public, we're gonna buy some.
Yeah, we're gonna on AZB bonus features. We are now AZB plus.
Is it? We will be sold for $10 to the
highest
Blackwater.
Yes,
Blackstone.
We're here to announce that we've been acquisitioned by Blackstone for $10. A record setting.
We get to meet Reese Witherspoon as part of the deal.
Yes, we do get a group Skype call with her, with all the other channels that she is acquiring. Yeah, no, just super excited for them, and so yeah, I'm excited to see how that kind of turns out. Maybe they'll give Scarlett Johansson her own like Tower of Horror.
Well, let's do a cheers to them.
I'm just kidding, by the way. Don't come for my neck.
For y'all's acquisition, let it be a splendid one.
And for our acquisition.
Yes, for our acquisition.
Okay. For our acquisition. Alrighty.
Anyways.
Yeah. Let's move on to next.
White Lotus.
White Lotus, episode 4. Spoilers, by the way, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This show is such a mind F.
It was a slower episode, though. It wasn't my favorite episode. It didn't keep me into it all the way, but
what they do
is they kept me into it.
I get it. They amp up your anxiety by having so much stuff like come to the surface at once.
Yeah.
So you go from one place to another place to another place to another place.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're playing like the ramp up like freaking music. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Yeah, and Jennifer Coolidge again continues to be fantastic with her delivery here.
I think they're all doing a good job.
Gosh, but I am so worried about what's going to happen here with Jennifer Coolidge's character because she's like relying so much on. I want to find this. What the actress's name is here?
So it's Belinda in the show.
Belinda. Yes, Natasha Rothwell. So I'm really worried about what's going to happen with Jennifer Coolidge and Natasha Rothwell.
Every single time we see them together, we just hope that it's going to end up right, but it's not.
No, Jennifer Coolidge, it's setting up not to end right, but Jennifer Coolidge is really rooting on Natasha and saying, hey, you need to have your own place, your own business. I can invest my money into it. I can do it. And then the conversation always gets cut off, right? Or something ends up cutting into the conversation and they're not able to finish anything. And Natasha Rothwell is now Belinda's now she's typed up a business plan and she's printing it out in this episode and she's super excited about it. And I just feel like she's not going to get it. Jennifer Coolidge is going to leave the resort. And
I think Tanya is honestly in that brief little interview that we saw with Jennifer Coolidge, is she's somebody who has good intentions but has ADHD.
Maybe no follow through.
There's a lot of people who just love to just talk about grandiose plans and stuff and never follow through on it. I kind of feel like
I understand
Tanya is one of these people.
Yeah, I definitely do that too. I have all of these ideas and these projects, and I'll start putting everything together and have a really I want to do something so big, and then don't follow through.
Yeah, but you do follow through on, I would say, at least 30% of what you do.
That's not good.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound good when I say it like that. But think about it. You have all of these plans and all of these little stories and everything that you want to do. So no matter what, you're not going to get to everything. So 30%, that's pretty good.
I project hop a lot, but this is what I think she does is that's why the conversation kind of gets cut off so much, is because she's hopping to an idea, to an idea, to an idea. And so I'm really worried about how this is going to end at the end of at the end of 6. I didn't really pay attention to the first episode. I need to go back and watch it because apparently somebody's going to die.
Yes.
I've seen that on Twitter, people saying, but I didn't know that.
I turned it on and you walked off. I was like, oh, I'm just going to.
I think it was the second episode I got into it, right?
Yeah, second episode you're like, what is going on here?
Yep.
But a lot of stuff is going on.
Oh, a lot of stuff. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so for Shane and Rachel, their mother, Shane's
mother-in-law, or his mother, her mother-in-law.
Yes, just showed up out of nowhere, and he's all chill about it because he's a mama's boy. And she ain't good about it because it's her honeymoon.
Yeah.
And I'm on her side on this one.
Well, yeah, of course, but she was also trying to accept jobs and stuff like that while she was on her own honeymoon. So, like,
So obviously both of them are not in the good place.
I don't like either of them anyway.
Yeah. Well, and Shane, he is spending all of his energy.
You sounded like me when I'm out of my inhaler and I'm trying to say
No, he is literally expending every single ounce of his energy on Armand.
Is that his name? Armand. Trying to get Armand back, or trying to catch Armand, or trying to Armand's actually kind of being such an asshole too. Dude.
No, he's actually.
I understand that
actually not great.
These guests are not the most ideal, and they're pretty challenging, but Armand
but he makes it hard on himself.
Armand,
that's the thing.
Armand is also just taking so much delight in just fucking with them, right?
Oh, he really enjoys.
I love that.
He enjoys chaos.
Armand,
I feel like he really thrives in the chaos.
Chaos
going
demon.
on.
Yes, and I thrive.
He's a demon twink.
Chaos. Armand, by the way, we got to see him. Rimming somebody, rimming a guy, rimming one of his employees.
And I think that's a step forward for mankind. You know, to see men in different ways. So for men, heterosexual or not, that's really cool. And two, representation of rimming, and
eating the booty.
Three, I don't know. I thought it was cool.
It was, but also when we talk about it in regard to character, was not the best idea for him. He's kind of spiraling right now, right? He's drinking and taking drugs, and that is putting him in a really bad decision making sphere where he is now one of his employees has he's. Because this is not okay, right? It's the power imbalance. He is wanting to have sex with this employee. And
he's like, "I'll give you tomorrow off,"
giving
and
him
drugs
off, and giving him the drugs and perks, right? Or abusing his power.
Either way, it's a quid pro quo situation where one person is getting something for the other person to take sexual advantage of them.
Yes,
which is not a good situation. No matter what. Okay, so. I'm not going to approach it as real life because it's in a show, but if this was real life, he should definitely be fired for this. And the other guy has a very good case of sexual assault.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Very, very, very good case of sexual assault.
And then Belinda and, what the hell is that asshole's name? Shane. Will both walk in on Armand.
Shane is delighted. Yeah. Shane says, "Me next, please."
Yes, I did have to the HBO Max app, or the whole thing is ridiculous with their whole interface is ridiculous. Where you can't really.
They have the worst app, but the best aesthetic.
Rewinding for fast forwarding, pausing, it's all such a pain in the ass. So I had to we had to really catch it, and I had to take a screenshot with my phone of the scene because I wanted to see if there was any ball slippage, any nudity I could catch. I do think I see a ball. Would you like to see the ball? It's right there.
Is it just a
tiny little ball? Yeah, sexy scene though. I think I kept hearing people say that there's going to be something like that in this, but I did expect a little bit more.
I kind of thought it was going to be
what I got. I guess
I kind of thought it was going to be between Armand and Mark,
which is. The dad, right?
The dad that he was flirting with. And he was flirting with a hardcore almost inappropriately. Armand
is not almost inappropriately. He's flirting with him inappropriately. He should not be doing any of this with any of the guests, any of his employees, anything. He should not be doing the drugs, the drink, none of it.
Yes. So Armand is what we would call in this day and age problematic.
Canceled.
He is about to be canceled on the hotel forums.
Well, I think he's going to get fired. I think something's pretty bad is going to happen. It seems like we're leading up to something pretty bad for all of these characters, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't think anything's really going to have a happy ending.
They're all going to leave the resort old.
Well, you have Paula, which is the demon child's best friend, and
I don't know why we call her the demon child. I like her quite a bit. Oh, you know what though? I was a little bit disappointed in her in this one. A little bit disappointed
because it's like she's trying not to be a product of who she is, but she's also being a product of who she is.
Yeah.
But Paula is like, she's dating this guy, and he's talking about how like this land has been taken away from his tribe, and they weren't able to fight against it because they weren't able to afford lawyers. And I remember us like we watched a documentary, not about Hawaii, but I think it was about it was like the aftermath of the, I think, 2004 tsunami, and people taking advantage of that in order to buy land for resorts.
Was it 2004 or 2006? Gosh,
I'm
I
not
don't even
actually
remember.
sure.
I think
I think
it
it was
must have been
2004.
2004. It must have been 2004 or 2005.
I think it was 2004. But like, this is a thing that's not just like isolated to like the South Asian coast. It's like a thing that happens everywhere, where people like try to take advantage of these situations. The people who can't legally like advocate for themselves. And I wonder, I'm curious if we have any people who watch our channel who are from mainland Hawaii and have seen or heard of these kind of experiences.
Well, I think a lot of people have, and it's definitely something that's worth like looking further into, because I'm not going to have all the facts here, and you are not either.
And I'm curious as to whether there's like a ethical like resorts to go to in Hawaii. You know, like resorts that not benefit.
They even made a good point that
know,
like the people who go and dance for all of these people on vacation, these expensive ass vacations, and all of these native people going and dancing for them. It's like you're dancing for
the
a
people
bunch of white people who
stole
are
all
like,
your money,
who are like,
who stole your land.
Who are they? Well, they didn't steal the land, but they're participating in that. They are contributing to that.
They definitely stole the land.
Yeah. No, I'm saying the guests did not go.
Oh,
and steal
no.
the land.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
but the
guests
guests are like complicit in this.
But yeah. So that made me as a consumer curious as to that, and I think I'm gonna definitely pay more attention in the future in terms of like where, like, if we were to go to Hawaii.
You gotta say it right. Hawaii.
If we were to go there, pay more attention to where we stay. Really, where we stay anywhere.
We did not get stationed in Hawaii.
We did not.
We did not.
But and then we have Quinn, who's checking out the rowers.
I guess, is he checking out the rowers, or is
I don't
he just
know.
looking
I'm
for
not
friends?
sure.
Because it seems like his family's a bunch of dicks to him.
They are
He's sleeping on the
like, I need
damn
a
beach,
phone.
and like I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot going on with this show. It was a quieter episode though, and so wasn't a whole lot here.
I'm expecting these. Sorry, I'm expecting these next two episodes to like really ramp up.
Yeah. So
we're doing Mayor of Easttown, where the next episode is like really ramped up, and the last episode is like explainer.
Yeah, kind of like an epilogue chapter. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But good show so far. Good show. And we also on HBO Max. We never even heard of it, and
we saw it after we finished.
Yeah, we just saw it like kind of pop up, so we put it on tonight. And
The Prince,
about the royal family. And
I was like, what are they doing right now? This is so blatant.
What is this? Well, of course it's blatant. They're using their real names and everything, I wonder
Which
if
honestly brings them up to
can
like,
there be
litigation
legal
like,
action?
Yes. Well, they had that whole explainer that they put at the beginning of like each episode.
Oh, I didn't.
It's a scroll.
I'm blind. I can't
saying, this is just story, even though we're using real people and all that stuff. And let me tell you, I'm sorry, and I think that it might be problematic, but it is hilarious.
Stop using shitty words like that. I'm done with no more words like that.
It might be problemsome, but it was hilarious. But it was hilarious.
I loved the story. We're on like episode 5 right now. We're probably going to finish the rest of it, even though it is making me a little bit uncomfortable seeing them kind of center it around like
Prince George.
Prince George is a child. Like, we shouldn't be I don't like that. I don't like that aspect of it. I think the adults should be free game, but like he's a kid. He's a kid, and he's not even like able to like go online and search this stuff, but he will be one day and like figure out there was a whole ass show made about him, you know? And it almost feels like the gay part of it, because I guess they haven't said he's gay or anything like that, but they're leaning into it almost like gay is a punchline here or like a joke, because there's always been those jokes on like social media that, you know, Prince George is gonna be gay because in some pictures he's like, you know, a little bit more flamboyant looking, or however people want to put it. And in this show, it does seem like they're leaning into that joke a little bit. Like it's like a gay joke, and I don't like that, because all it's doing is showing that gay is something to be joked about, and it's really not. It's just part of your identity, and it shouldn't be a joke.
No, and I agree, because like I do identify with a lot of like what Prince George in the show is doing. Like, oh yeah, it's gay. Obviously, you love Lady Gaga, and I'm like I compared Prince George in the show to Zachary, because Zachary, I could definitely see him doing like
Just
a lot of what he's doing. I could see you doing.
As dramatic as they're making this little cartoon, baby. I was definitely that.
You were Prince George, and
of Andrews Air Force Base,
and so I like that aspect of it, but I know that if I was in that situation, I'm trying to like,
if I was his parent, I would be fucking pissed.
Well, I'm trying to be empathetic of him, like in terms of like, if it doesn't matter if I'm straight or gay, I would want to distance myself from it, you know, as much as I could. And so I feel like if you're gay, I would probably put myself more into the closet, and if you're straight,
especially if
you would want to be super macho to kind of like dispel the, you know, like whatever it is that got them to make this character that's you.
Yeah, I think especially because like something we could all relate to if you are gay or if you're you know, any part of the LGBT community, that you I had somebody say that when we paused too much during our sentences, that we're just pandering to the far left or whatever. What is it? Woke culture. I'm putting my fucking thoughts together. No, but when we are, those of us part of the LGBT community, you know, we know what it's like when you get jokes, when you're still trying to figure out who you are, what your identity is. And, like, people make jokes. I got the gay jokes and stuff like that. That totally pushed me further into the closet. And so things like this, whether he turns out to be gay, straight, bi, whatever, like, something like this is not very nice. You know, it's especially for a kid, a little kid who is not yet found an identity, most likely, right? So I do have a problem with that. I am going to finish watching the whole show.
It is hilarious. I'm not going to lie.
I don't enjoy when he's on screen. I don't enjoy that. And
I do, but I'm sorry about it. But I do. I think the character itself, the character that they've made for Prince George, not Prince George himself, but the character that they've made for Prince George is hilarious and kind of reminds me of Stewie.
I wish they would have gone with different names and stuff like that, right? Or something almost like
a parody
like
of
reimagine it kind of, because but like the Meghan Markle storyline is kind of funny. Like she ends up on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I thought that was so great because I watch those kinds of shows. I like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but like I can pick out like the Andy Cohen situations, or like when they're filming and they're all having like dinners all the time or going on a girls trip, and it's just freaking hilarious. And like it's so spot on. And like everybody has a problem with each other, and it's like I have a problem with like Delaney, but like we're gonna put it behind us. I'm hoping we can put it behind us or something like that. It's just so hilarious. So
well, and
and all the Camilla Parker Bowl stuff.
It is the Camilla Parker ones.
It's like the queen saying, "Camilla, don't you fucking sneeze.
Stop slurping."
poor cartoon Camilla Parker Bowles.
And everybody asks, "Can I feed her a sugar cube?"
Can I feed her a sugar cube? Yeah. So.
I can tell that this was made before Prince Philip passed away.
I hope it was made before Prince Philip died, because it was like It's uncomfortable. I don't know.
Yeah, so it did. Definitely think that there's definitely some stuff. And here I just looked up the show and it said Insider, The Prince, HBO's new cartoon spoofing the royal family, isn't funny in the slightest.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people are going to take that stance.
They are.
Because I think that this, I mean, it's comedy.
It's comedy, but I think there's certain people who should be exempt from that, and like children. I think Prince George, Charlotte, and their other baby, and Archie, and all of them should be exempt from all of this.
So I think Charlotte is hilarious because she seems to be like a...
Oh, she's totally a secret agent in this. Like, this is why I wish they would have like titled it different, done different names, all of that, kind of like fluffed it, other stuff a little bit, made up some stuff, because like...
Yeah, they're short episodes,
I feel like it could
too.
be better. I feel like it could be better that way. But, yeah, I don't know.
And
Still, let us know what y'all think about it.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like when you watch Family Guy or you watch any of those other things, it's just like made up people who are just kind of like amalgamations of like everyday life people, you know, and everyday experiences. So it's funny. And these are actually like spoofs of real people. It's a satirical look at real people. And I think that's where the uncomfiness comes from, where it's uncomfy, but it's also funny. So it just leaves you feeling weird.
Did you ever watch on MTV, they had an animated show about two dogs. I want to say it's called Where My Dog's At, but that might not be right. But it was like an animated show about like two dogs who like were at the pound, and then they escaped from the pound, and they're like going through Hollywood and meeting all these celebrities. And so they meet all the celebrities of like the 2005 to 2007 like culture, like, you know, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears, Kevin Federline, like Angelina Jolie and Brad. Yeah, and so all of those characters are in it, like not the real actors, like playing themselves, obviously, but it's like this. It's exactly like this. And we're seeing like every episode is a new like group of celebrities, and like, as a kid, I freaking loved that show. I loved that show. I thought it was so funny because I loved all these celebrities and, like, you know, stuff like that. And then as an adult, I watch it and I'm like, you're making fun of some real serious shit, man. Like, you know, some of these people had some, like, real problems with, like, eating disorders and stuff like that. And you're making fun of this stuff. Like, it's...
Well, even that, especially as a kid watching this, it's hilarious. But even that, like, South Park did the same thing. You know, like
I never thought
Britney
the South
Spears.
Park Britney Spears episode was funny. I never thought. I
Well,
was very uncomfortable even as a kid.
They did that with more than that. They did it with almost every celebrity.
They did.
You know, and I guess that's one way of going about it. If you're gonna like make fun of one person, make fun of everybody, and I think South Park kind of like across the board, like made fun of like almost everybody. You know, during the run. And I mean, I haven't watched South Park in so long. I don't even know what season they're on right now. But they would make fun of everybody, and it would be like,
I think there is going. You can go too far, though. I do think you can go too far if we're talking about South Park specifically.
Well, even that Ginger episode, and I felt the Ginger episode went a little too far because it was a real life person who had an issue, but it was also like a very funny episode. Like it was like, I don't know, they went too far at a lot of points, but I think that's one of the things that South Park was trying to do.
I think if we're using South Park as an example, portraying Britney Spears at her lowest point and having her shoot herself, half of her face off, her head off.
I don't think I watched that episode.
It was not okay. I don't think that was okay. I don't think that comedy is anything that should have ever been made. I just don't agree with that.
Yes. No.
Think. Yeah. I mean, and that's all goes to personal taste, right? It's like I can't dictate what's funny to other people, but like to me, that wasn't okay.
No, I didn't watch that episode, and I know the Paris Hilton episode was also pretty messed up too. And I think that definitely, like, I think South Park definitely. Well, it has this moment in like pop culture, like it's
still a show that's going, definitely.
It had great moments, and it also had very suspect moments.
Yeah,
and I think that's really all up to the consumer and the comedian, in terms of how far you're gonna go and what is actually funny. And usually, what is funny is, I found what's funny is it has to be relatable to people. Has to be slightly dark because people really do like to, you know, joke about like the your messed up stuff. And like I was listening to a podcast recently, and the main person on the podcast like joked about being suicidal because he was suicidal.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes like you have to joke about dark things to get through
Oh,
them.
no, I agree with that. I definitely believe that. I totally believe that. Like with my own mental health struggles, like I will joke about my own stuff. I just think there are lines that are just too far. And what are those lines? You know, I couldn't tell you right here, but
I mean,
something
they're always
like
blurry.
that specific episode is like, if I can bring that in as an example, I think that was too far. I think that was too much. That was something that is just like never should have been made. But then like again, who am I to say what's funny to you, right?
At the same turn of the page, if you're funny, if you think it's funny, watch it. If you don't think it's funny, don't watch it. And I guess that kind of like
that
tells
just goes
people,
with any sort of content.
I mean,
if you think something's good, just like
that tells people
nobody's
where the
gonna
line
know
is.
if you're fucking
So-
watching it, right? Don't watch some fucked up shit. But like, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's if you like the episode of Britney Spears in South Park, you know, nobody's gonna tell you can't watch it. So, whatever. But we are either gonna stop tape or we're gonna wrap up here. Or you think we're good to wrap up?
I think we are good to wrap up.
Okay, because we got a couple more seconds, I think. But thank you guys.
Thank you. I am Coffee. He is Tequila, and we
I
will
love
see
that
you
this is the
tomorrow.
new outro that you do. I love it.
And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Hump day. So
Hump day.
have an excellent Tuesday. Keep on pushing on. This week is going to be your best week yet.
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lint liquor?
Okay, I don't know what's
That's my outro. You don't know that?